Thank you for tuning in to another edition of the 2 Cents Podcast. I'm your host and your journalist, Nino. How y'all are doing this evening? First of all, let me give praises and all gracious thank you to the man upstairs for letting me get up. Another day has been completed. I'm healthy. I'm in good spirits. And thanking the man for letting me get up and go do what I have to do and make it back to my place where I live. To all you people who have them subscriptions, please continue clicking that like button and giving me them subscriptions. I thank you very much. Appreciate you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. To all my fans, my followers, and my listeners, I'm going to send some shout out. Shout out to my guy, David Parker, USA Podcast. What's up, Raw Strict 9? What's up to my man Marlon? What's up to my guy Norris, my nephew Norris? I like to say thank you to all the ladies that back me. A lot of them be at work. Miss Lucille, both of the Miss Valerie's, Miss Silver, Miss Ivy Silver. Thank you, Miss Cheryl, Miss Mary Beth, or Mary Bell. Thank you very much. I appreciate all you ladies. What up, Shelly? What up, Miss Naomi? What's going on, Miss Chris? What up, Miss Brittany? Thank all y'all. Thank all y'all. Say what up to my nephews, Keith, Jude, to my son, MJ, and my grandson, Zion. Thank y'all for being solid with the old man. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Well, I'm going to get right into this. I've got over the 4th of July weekend has just passed. And usually that is a good time for everybody, family-wise. That's a good holiday. It's about in the middle of the summer. The heat is on. But even if you're working, that's a little break that you take. And the 4th of July usually be, a good little holiday to enjoy with your family and so on with your friends. But the 4th of July this weekend has been crucial and it's been devastating, especially down in South Texas, down in the San Antonio area, down by the Guadalupe River. Deadly flash floods hit the Texas residents and campers, and now they're in panic mode and did not see it coming. Flash floods in Texas have unalived more than 80 people, where that was like 2 days ago. Currently, the toll is about 100 plus over the 4th of July holiday weekend, and left others still missing, including girls attending a summer camp on Monday. Camp Mystic confirmed at least 27 campers and counselors have died or been unalived in the flooding. The devastation along the Guadalupe River outside of San Antonio has drawn massive search effort as officials face questions over the preparedness and the speed of the initial actions. This really hits home because basically people, as I told you, this past weekend, the 4th of July weekend, I was going on vacation with me, my son, my grandson, and his friend. And actually, that's where we was headed. We supposed to have touchdown in San Antonio Friday evening. We had reserved an Airbnb, and then we was going to double back and come to Austin on our way back to DFW, to the Dallas-Fort Worth area. But as I was saying to my son, and maybe this was a blessing, we wasn't able to get a car rented because I had a little problem with my credit and so on. So we wasn't able to go and enjoy the trip that we had planned. But maybe, as I was telling my son, and I have talked to other people at work, maybe there was a blessing in disguise from the good Lord, because it is so much devastating down in South Texas, plus especially the San Antonio, Guadalupe area. I'm talking about the Guadalupe River area. It is just ridiculous. It is mass devastation, and they still are trying to clean up that catastrophe and see the death toll as I speak. The deadly flooding and colossal weather system that drove in around Kerr City, Texas, and the ongoing efforts to identify victims. The Texas Hill Country is in the central part of Texas and is naturally prone to flash flooding due to the dry dirt packed areas where the soil lets the rain skid along the surface of the landscape instead of soaking it up. Friday flash floods started with a particularly bad storm that dropped most of its 12 inches of rain in the dark early morning hours. I can remember back in 2000 in this area, the region I stay in now, that's why I can feel what the people was talking about, the darkness. We had a massive tornado. We had 2 tornadoes, and we had a massive 2 tornadoes ordeal that we had to deal with, in which it ripped through the downtown western part of Fort Worth, and it actually, when it ended up, it went through Arlington, and it headed to Dallas, and we had some twisters. But I remember, as it was saying on here, the dark, how it got dark. I remember how that same scenario happened to us before them tornadoes came through. It had got real dark, real still, and real humid. I'm talking about, it was like a horror scene out of a movie or something. I mean, it was this, you can't make this up. So I know what the people was going through, just picturing how dark it had got, and how the circumstances had just flipped that quick. I mean, I can imagine that was just crazy, man. That was just crazy. I really do. I bet that was just something that you cannot behold. The National Weather Service office issued a warning around 4 a.m. that raised the potential of a catastrophic damage and severe threat to human life by at least 5:20 a.m. Some in Kerrville City area say water levels were alarmingly high. The massive rain flowing down the hills sent rushing waters into the Guadalupe River, causing the water levels to rise 26 feet in 45 minutes. People, that is blinding rain. That is rain. Imagine this. Picture that. 26 feet in 45 minutes. You cannot even see in that rain. You cannot even move. You cannot even run in that rain. And as I was telling my son, because we didn't really know exactly where Airbnb was in San Antonio, even if we wouldn't have had to deal with what these people or these unfortunate victims had to deal with and who have lost their life at the Guadalupe River, still all of San Antonio was flooded. So can you imagine this trying to get out of the city of San Antonio, period? I mean, it must have to been, I'm talking about mad. I'm talking about it has to be still something that you can't even imagine in your wildest dreams. You can't. You just can't. The death toll is expected to rise as campers remain missing. Governor Greg Abbott said Sunday that there were 41 people confirmed to be unaccounted for across the state of Texas. More could be missing in Cursor County, home of the youth camps. Searchers have found bodies of 68 people, including 28 children. Sheriff Larry Lila said Sunday afternoon. Fatalities in nearby counties brought the total number death tolls to 82 as of Monday morning. But that was yesterday. This morning, as I checked in on it, and I went through social media, and I even checked the radio airways, the death toll has risen to 100 people, or at least maybe with people missing. But it is still mass devastation again and mass pandemonium down in San Antonio and the Guadalupe River, because they are still trying to sort out and get pieces together and trying to see still how many more fatalities or how many more deaths will come up, trying to figure out a number still what the death toll in its final, what its final count would be. Man, this is heart-wrenching. This is heartbreaking, gut-wrenching. 10 girls and a counselor were still unaccounted at Camp Mystic Christian summer camp along the river. 3 girls from Dallas, 8-year-old Hadley Hanna and Eloise Peck, 9-year-old Lila Bonner, and 2 sisters from Dallas, 13-year-old Blair Harber and 11-year-old Brooke Harber. I think they was twins. I'm not sure. No, they couldn't be twins. 13, 11, I don't know. But I also thought I heard too through my people that it was some twins that lost their life. Twin young girls. I mean, my heart goes out to them young ladies and their families and everything. Because this is this. I'm talking about this is this. I mean, this is just a tragedy. A travesty, but it's just a tragedy. It really is. They was confirmed unalive. The girls that I had just mentioned. 8-year-old Hadley Hanna, Eloise Peck, 9-year-old Lila Bonner, and 2 sisters from Dallas, 13-year-old Blair Harber and 11-year-old Brooke Harber was confirmed unalive by the St. Rita Catholic Community Church in Dallas. Camp Mystic owner and director, Mr. Dick Eastland, also was unalive trying to save the girls at camp. God rest that soldier's soul. God rest that man's soul. Because now you got to realize what his family going through, what his wife and what his kids, the owner of the Camp Mystic and the founder of the Camp Mystic Christian Camp. He went out very heroic, like a hero, and tried to save as many girls as he could. And unfortunately, he was unalive and lost his life. But, you have to salute that man, because he went out like a true soldier and a true hero that he definitely is. Survivors have described the floods as pitch black walls of death. Remember what I told you? That's pitch black. And when it hits that, because I'm not going to even kid you guys, peeps, when that tornado came back in 2000, I thought we was finna go meet our maker. I thought it was over with. It is an eerie look and an eerie feeling that I have never got over. I got shot, and I wasn't scared as much as when I got shot, even though I had a lot of anxiety, but I was really scared back in 2000 when them twisters came through the DF-Dub, coming from the western region of Texas and ripped through our city and went through Arlington and then Dallas and went on, and they was twisters. But the darkness, that darkness, this really was just like, man, it was just something that you only have to see it yourself. I can tell you many ways. I can try to describe it to you, but it's just something that you would have to see from yourself. I'm telling you, it's something that I just couldn't believe it. So I can understand how these people, when they were saying that, you know, the floods were like a pitch black wall of death. Because at that time, that's all they were seeing. And plus, you think about it, it's pitch black like that, and then accumulations, big floods, big quantities of water are dropping at a hectic pace. Remember, 26 feet in 45 minutes, that's a lot of agua. That's a lot of condensation. That's a lot of water coming to you and coming at you real fast. Also, it was said that they received no emergency warnings from the flash flood. See, this is how crazy it was. No emergency warnings. They just came out the blue. But it seemed like the Texas weather has been crazy ever since the beginning of 2025. I can go back in January when we had a little ice, and then, you know, it would get warm, and then, you know, it'd be a little bit like, I mean, it just, you can't gauge it. I mean, Texas weather is usually bipolar, but now it's bipolar this year where I have never seen it switch on and off like this. Like say, we're in the summer now, and it's been hot, but it haven't been this ridiculously hot like it usually be. And when it's hot, it have heat spells, but then it'll drop back, and then it'll just come down with torrential rains and all. Maybe this is global warming. I don't know. Maybe this is global warming, and we can't control it. But meteorologists and everybody, and weathermen, I mean, they are doing great jobs trying to gauge this weather. But I know at times they have to be scratching their head. They really do. As of Monday, it still was a threat of more flooding on the way. You had volunteers, you had search dogs, and you had drones have joined the rescue effort. Homeland Security Department Secretary Miss Christy Noam said that the U.S. Coast Guard is responsible for saving more than 200 people near Kerrville. Well, Governor Abbott definitely has got into it. I'm pretty sure they have called President Donald Trump, and now he's going to drop, you know, San Antonio is a city of disaster. I mean, you know, we had the Coast Guard in there, but this is kind of devastation where you're going to probably have to have FEMA. And I'm surprised I haven't heard FEMA hasn't intervened in this. I really am. But my heart goes out to them young girls, them Christian young ladies. You know, just wanted to go on a vacation, and how all of a sudden they probably was happy, full of life, joy. You know, the best of their years still ahead of them. And then it just turned like that, and they're not even, they're gone, they're unalive. I mean, man, it's crazy like that. That's why now I try to tell each and everybody around me, from my circle to my son, to my grandson, to my relatives, hey man, go out here and enjoy yourself and do what you want to do, because you don't know what's going to happen. And you sure can't control it. But my heart goes out to them people down in San Antonio, because being honestly, it could have been us. It really could. It could have been us. Also, before I shut this down and get up out of here, peeps, I was talking to one of my superiors at work, and this is how ironic it is. He and his family was going to head down to South Texas, to San Antonio, as we was. They were going to leave the same probably time, early Friday morning, and he just had, stated to me and said to me, they actually was going to spend a little time on the Guadalupe River and do a little rafting and canoeing. And he said, can you imagine that? I was like, yes, man. It's something came up, and it's the good Lord, I guess. It was a blessing in disguise, but my heart goes out again to all the people, the young ladies that lost their lives, their family, the Mystic Camp Church, Christian Church. My heart goes out to Mr. Eastland, who was the founder. He went out like a real hero and tried to save them kids. You got to have compassion from his wife and his kids, because now a husband is gone, a father is gone. And with the kids, you lost counselors, With the kids, a daughter is gone, a sister is gone, It's very, very, very tragic, and it's very, very devastating. Deadly flash floods hits Texas. Residents and campers are in panic mode, or was in panic mode, because they did not see it coming. 2 cents. This is my podcast. Your man Nino. God bless y'all. And please keep your prayers in for all those people who are lost their lives or was unalive in San Antonio, Texas, in the Guadalupe River. And keep your prayers for San Antonio as a city to try to get through this, through therapeutic or whatever, rebuild and get back strong as the beautiful city that San Antonio was. Thank you. And still, San Antonio was, and it still is. It'll get back. I didn't mean to put a damper like San Antonio is over with, but I'm just saying I know the tragic that them people are going through right now. But prayers, again, after them people down in San Antonio, Kerrville, Kerr County, down in South Texas. Thank you.